Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Roma in Football Manager 2019. I'm Ater, and since last episode we played quite a few games. First we managed to beat Young Boys in the Champions League group stage, and then we followed that one up with a good win versus Spal. And then we had this game versus AC Milan. And I'm kind of regretting that I didn't record this one for an episode, because it was a crazy game. I'm going to show you soon, but I was thinking, like, should I use this game as the next episode? But I felt like, first off, AC Milan were down to like 9th place in the league table, so they're not having a great season. And I felt like we're going to have a lot of games coming up here. For example, today we have Napoli in 3rd place, we might go for Kiev in 6th place, then we have Juve in 4th place, and so on. So I was kind of like, yeah, we can't have like 30 episodes in a season, so I decided to not record it, and I regret it now, because it was a crazy game. Take a look at this. Let's bring up the match stats. Also, so you can see it. You can see from the stats that I dominated things, but it was a crazy game. So first off, we took the lead in the 4th minute. So I felt like, yeah, great, we are controlling this. But then they scored twice in a row in the first half. So we went to the halftime break being 1 goal down, and that was frustrating because we were dominating things. But then we changed things up with more and more crazy attacking, using 2 strikers, using basically everything. And then look at this game from Schick. So it actually took quite some time. It wasn't until the 65th minute that we managed to equalize. And then it still took a long time, all up until the 83rd minute. And then Schick scored twice in 2 minutes. So 4 goals in one game. And we've been talking a lot about ARP this season, because ARP has been sensational. But here clearly Schick showed that he is to be counted on too. And to end it all off, we managed to pick up a red card at the end. But yeah, that was a crazy game, and I definitely regret I didn't record it for an episode. But after that game, oh my god, we have this devastating game versus Porto in the Champions League. It doesn't matter, because we had won the group even before this game. But look at the result here. We got destroyed, and I wasn't using a weak team. I was using most of my best players. But at the end, we ended up winning the group with quite some safety margin. So even with that loss, we managed to win it pretty easy. Just as I predicted, probably the easiest group we have had this far into Champions League adventure in this series. But yeah, today we are playing Napoli, and Napoli is currently in 3rd place. If you look at the league table, we have us, we have Sassuolo, and we have Napoli. It's just 2 points between Sassuolo and Napoli, really close. And of course today Napoli have that home advantage. We know what a good team they are, and we know this is going to be a very difficult away game. But looking at this, we have quite some safety margin. I mean, this could be like, we haven't even reached half time of the season. As you can tell, we are in December here, and this we kind of are getting in a position that we maybe, a few more results, almost could start chilling in the league and focus everything on Champions League, because we have such a huge safety margin. And that would be, of course, be great, because we have never won the Champions League. So whenever we can take it a little bit easier in the league, that would clearly be to our advantage in the Champions League. But we can't take anything for granted yet. If you start thinking you have won it, you know, a few bad games, and then all of a sudden you are crying, you are behind, and everything is bad. We will start this game with spot empty in the team because of suspension of Florenzi, injury on Coloro, and so on. Because both our U18 team and U18 team, both of those played games yesterday, so their players are basically down to like 60% fitness level. So I felt like there's no reason to bring in like a player that's already dead to bring him on the bench. So we're gonna have an open spot there. So let's see here what we want to say. Yeah, we're going to talk about last game, because last game was a disaster. So I think this is the right option. I expect to see a much better performance from you tonight, lads. Yep, I do. And nobody cares, my gosh. But of course, I am doing rotations, so most of these guys didn't start the last game. So maybe that's because why? Because if they weren't in it, they don't feel affected of it, maybe. But yeah, here's the kickoff, and beautiful interception there by Gerson. Probably just the intro highlight, but you never know. Sometimes these games surprise you, and you actually get a real highlight from the start. Here's Moreno going for El Shaarawy. Trying to set up Schick with a very optimistic pass, and it turns around. Oh, what's a bad pass by Schule, but he wins it back. Gerson. Actually, it's been going for quite some time, and here is Schick, and he hit the post. Yeah, talking about sometimes the game surprise you, giving you a real highlight from scratch. But instead, oh. Yep. So he just hit the post, and a minute later, Napoli does that. Devastating from the corner. Look at this one. It bounces back and forth quite a time, rolling rolling alongside the goal line until finally the Napoli player finds the net. Clearly, guys, I want you to show some passion here. Step it up. This is not okay. And they didn't go through. Let's try it again. Show some passion. Now they look fired up. Beautiful. A potential injury there from Verdi, the guy who took the corner. So clock is just ticking away though. We had those two early highlights and then nothing. About to reach half time with two highlights. Surprisingly few. But here is Santon for Christian. Tonali trying to change flank. Weak pass. Insigne picks it up. Could be dangerous. Could be a counter attack. But maybe we can turn it around. Here is Schick, but he falls. It's El Sharaway. His Gerson breaks through. Gerson finds the net. And his fourth goal of the season with an assist from El Sharaway. And we are back in business with the equaliser. And brilliant timing here. We're into extra time when it scores. Very, very psychological. Going to be tough for the Napoli players going into the dressing room. Just having conceded during extra time. Brilliant finish there by Gerson also. And that is the halftime whistle. So I'm glad we managed to come back, but I'm not glad that we were behind. And looking at the statistics, it's close, but they are dominating the game with 7 chances, 5 on target to our 6 chances, 3 on target. So there's definitely a lot of room for improvements. And when you tell them that we are not pleased, I mean, look at all these ratings, not much to write home about. Also going to try to bring Tonali a little bit higher up into the pitch, and we're also going to tell the lads with yellow cards to ease off tackles, because I mean, as you saw during as late recently as that AC Milan game, we picked up a red card, and I feel like I mean, we are playing a gegenpress, so we are putting a lot of pressure, closing in, and so on. So it is we have instructions that clearly increases the risk of us picking up cards, but I'm okay with the yellow one as long as it doesn't turn red. Yeah, always look at this with a small tactic change, bringing Tonali up. We went from being behind on chances to them haven't get a single chance this far into the second half. Well, we have picked up. We have basically more than double the amount of chances we had created for halftime. But still, Schick, you have to go. That 4 goals you did was brilliant, but those 4 goals didn't happen today. You can't live on past performances, Schick. You need to perform every day if you want to be playing for this Roma side. I think we're gonna go with Coracles for yellow card. He seems motivated, but with a yellow card and bad rating, I think we have a winner here. So 2 subs, and then let's see what happens here. As I said, we have completed. They haven't had a chance the whole off. Now the clock just ticks away though, so we have created quite a few, but where are the highlights? Can't see any highlights at all. Who do we want to go with? With Kolarov out with an injury, we can't replace Moreno. Both Christian and Gerson is playing well. I think Tonali have to go. I think we have a winner there. We are getting closer and closer to extra time. Still a bit frustrated that we have created so many more chances than them and nothing. And this is probably just the end of the game highlight because we have seconds left of the extra time. So I'm happy that we managed to make a comeback and equalize. But considering that they had 3 chances for the whole second half, while we had, let's see, 8 chances and still basically no highlights, kind of not good enough, but still a very, very important point. As long as we don't lose points against the top teams, or don't lose against them, they kind of can't catch us very much. I mean, Sassuolo could catch up a little bit, but I feel like with this safety margin, as long as we don't lose against the top teams, we should be in a very, very good and safe position. Now I haven't decided what's going to be the next episode. It will either be Chievo or Juve. Let's see, have Chievo played? They have. I need to think about it. One of those teams. And of course, there's only one way for you to find out, and that's to check out the next episode. So, as always, thank you so much for sharing your time with me, and I'll see you tomorrow.